My name is Margaret Wilson. I am 62 years old. I live alone in my small house in Oxford. My husband passed away 10 years ago, and since then, life has become a quiet, lonely routine. My only daughter, Emily, moved to Australia when she was just 16. She has a life full of joy now, a loving husband, children, a beautiful home, a career. I am happy for her, truly, but the emptiness in my own home is hard to ignore. Every morning, I wake up before the sun. I make the bed carefully, sweep the floor, and cook a simple breakfast for myself. I look at her old photos on the shelf. Emily smiling with her school friends, her first day at university, birthdays we celebrated together. Sometimes I read the letters she wrote to me before moving away. Her handwriting brings back memories, and for a while, the house feels alive again. But in the evening, when the sun sets and the house grows quiet, I feel the weight of my loneliness. The rooms echo with silence, and I sit by the window, staring at the empty street, wishing for a knock on the door, a familiar voice calling my name. One chilly morning, something unusual happened. I went to the mailbox, expecting nothing more than bills and advertisements. But there it was, a letter with familiar handwriting. My heart skipped a beat. Could it be Emily? I took the envelope inside, hands trembling, and carefully opened it. "Mother," the letter began, "I am coming to see you next week. I cannot wait to be with you again. I have missed you more than words can say. Love, Emily." Tears blurred my vision. I held the letter close to my chest, and for the first time in years, I felt hope that felt almost like happiness. I cleaned the house from top to bottom, prepared her favorite tea, and even baked some small cakes she loved as a child. Every evening, I looked at her photos, imagining her walking through the door, hearing her laugh echoing through the hallways. The day finally arrived. I dressed carefully, choosing the warmest coat and her favorite scarf. I carried her letter in my bag, rereading it over and over. At the train station, I sat on a bench, my heart pounding with excitement. I watched every person, every shadow moving across the platform, convinced it would be her. But the train doors opened, and no Emily, not a single familiar face, stepped off. I called her on my phone, but there was no answer. Minutes stretched into an hour, and still she did not appear. My heart sank into a cold, heavy silence. What could have gone wrong? Could she have changed her mind? Or worse, could the letter have been a mistake? I clutched her letter, my hands shaking, my vision blurred with tears. Around me, people moved on with their lives, chatting, laughing, oblivious to the ache in my chest. The station felt vast, empty, and cruel. I asked a few workers if they had seen her, but the answer was always the same. No one matching her description had arrived. As the afternoon sun began to fade, a kind woman approached me. Her eyes were warm, and her voice soft. She introduced herself as Anna. She asked if I was okay and sat beside me, listening as I poured out everything. My hopes, my loneliness, and the heartbreak of waiting for Emily. She held my hands gently, showing a kindness I hadn't felt in years. Anna introduced me to her husband, David, who welcomed me with a reassuring smile. They offered me a place to stay for the night, warm food, and company. At first, I hesitated. I had lived alone for so long, surviving on my own. Accepting help felt like surrender, but the gentle love in their eyes was impossible to resist. That night, I sat in their cozy living room, sipping tea, listening to the quiet ticking of the clock. I felt both sadness for Emily and a strange warmth for these strangers who treated me like family. Days passed. Anna and David treated me with patience and care. They helped me with small things I had neglected for months: groceries, doctor visits, even small repairs in my hairline cracks in the house. I laughed again, cooked alongside Anna, and shared stories with David. Slowly, my heart felt lighter, but every night I still held Emily's letter. I read it over and over, imagining her face, remembering the child she once was. I prayed she was safe, that she was happy. I never stopped hoping that one day she would come to me, not realizing that life sometimes takes away the people we love and gives us unexpected love instead. One evening, as I sat by the fireplace, Anna and David brought me a cup of tea. I looked at them and said softly, "I still think about my daughter every day. I wonder if she will ever come back." Anna held my hand and whispered, "Sometimes, Margaret, love comes in ways we don't expect. You have found a new family here." I smiled, tears falling quietly. I realized she was right. I had lost Emily in a way, but I had gained something just as precious: people who cared, who nurtured me, who made me feel alive again. The emptiness in my heart began to heal. I am Margaret Wilson. I still keep Emily's letter, and I read it sometimes, dreaming of a reunion that may never come. But I also know this: life has a way of surprising us. Even when we feel abandoned, we can find love, kindness, and family in the most unexpected places. And for the first time in many years, I feel whole again. What would you do if you were in Margaret's place? Would you wait for the loved one who abandoned you, or embrace the kindness of strangers who show you love? Tell me in the comments below. If you like this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.